Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm your host, Willie Bragg. We were supposed to have Shane Coughlin back to discuss MMT. He's having issues with his computer, and so the fact that he's having issues with his computer, we decided to delay the show to tomorrow night at 8 p.m. That will be September 6th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shane will be back on the Willie Bragg Show to discuss MMT. We'll continue our discussion there. So, what I decided to do, considering that Tuesday, the electricity went out, which caused me not to hear my clock radio, and the cable went out and all of that. And it took a while for the cable to come back on. There was no Braglands on Tuesday, which caused me to postpone the show to Wednesday. So me and Jimmy had our show on Wednesday. And so this is sort of like my makeup Wednesday night stream that would have, if we would have had a Braglands on Tuesdays, what I will be discussing tonight would have been done yesterday on Wednesday. So what I am deciding to do today is I'm going to be doing this particular stream, and I have another stream that was going to be put on another day, but the news is too relevant, so I'll be discussing that in a separate stream afterwards. So hopefully the news on Monday will be more relevant, and everything will work itself out, kind of just iron itself out back into something efficient schedule-wise. So my apologies in my long-winded way. The only way I know how to express myself. How are you all? I'm Willie Bragg. We have a presidential election. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris. Not excited. Neither of them have anything to offer to me. So, they're third-party options. Some people who lean libertarian in their worldview have Chase Oliver to support. If you're on the third-party left, you have candidates like Claudia Dela Cruz of the PSL. You have William Stodden from the Socialist Party USA. You have Cornel West of the Justice Party. I believe that's what it's called. And you have the Green Party candidacy of Jill Stein. So regarding Jill Stein, she's been gravely vilified by liberals and mainstream Democrats alike. And it's a crying shame that she's been vilified. She is seeing somebody that's supposedly responsible for the election of Donald Trump in 2016, which is absolute nonsense. Nobody ever blames Hillary Clinton's awful campaign and all of that. So, thank you, Desert Mantis. I appreciate that. And how are you doing, Miguel? And how are you doing, Rick? So, as I was saying, we're discussing the situation with the presidential election. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is apparently very upset with Jill Stein at the moment. And, and here's the thing. I have a whole lot to say about AOC's self-righteous indignation against Jill Stein. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and share a two-part clip. Scratch the fact that it came from Daily Caller. It is relevant. It's spliced together. And because it's spliced together, it gives me a chance to comment the way it needs to be commented on. So let me go ahead and find that. Let's see. Let me go ahead and do this. And I will show the AOC part first and the Jill Stein response second. So let me go ahead and find that real quick. There we go. And AOC starts ranting away.
Y'all, this is a little spicy, but I have thoughts. If you have been your party's nominee for 12 years in a row, 4 years ago and 4 years before that and 4 years before that, and you
4 years, 4 years, and 4 years. Okay. She's fully aware that AOC is fully aware that Jill Stein was the 2012 Green Party candidate. Very good. AOC, you get a star for that. Okay, AOC is aware that Jill Stein was the presidential candidate in the year 2016. Very good. You get another star for that, AOC. It came to my attention, and apparently she ran in 2020, referring to Jill Stein, according to AOC here. As somebody who voted Green in the last presidential election, I didn't vote for Jill Stein, AOC. I voted for Howie Hawkins. Are you not aware Howie Hawkins was the presidential candidate of the Green Party in 2020? If you're going to go and criticize Jill Stein, you better have all your information and all your ducks in a row doing so. Otherwise, you just pretty much just collapse your argument right there from the get-go, just by that one little mistake you made about 4 years ago in the last 12 years. Jill Stein was the 2012, 2016, and 2024 candidate for president. She was not the 2020 candidate for president. Okay.
You cannot grow your movement pretty much at all and can't pursue any successful strategy, and all you do is show up once every 4 years to speak to people who are justifiably pissed off, but you're just showing up once every 4 years to do that. You're not serious.
AOC, they could say the same about you not being serious. Jill Stein will do more than just run for president every 4 years. That's the year 2012 and 2016 and 2024. And just to remind you again, she did not run in 2020. She's done more than that. I went to 2 rallies in the past 2 years where Jill Stein was speaking at. She wasn't doing it as a Green Party candidate for president. She was doing it as Jill Stein of the Green Party. One at a rally for Julian Assange, which you don't talk that much about, or did not talk that much about. And at Rage Against the War Machine, where she's on the correct side, being against the war in the Ukraine, while you voted to fund, the terrible people in the government of the Ukraine. So, again, you're really just defeating your own case with your own words right there, which means nothing. You are not a serious person.
You're not to me, it does not read as authentic. It reads as predatory. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it.
Still here.
So yeah, she's basically writing off Jill Stein as not serious. So Jill Stein responds, of course. Let me go back there.
Still here. I'm about to board, but very quickly, I just wanted to thank AOC Pelosi so very much for her very authentic concern about growing green power. Clearly, AOC is the attack dog du jour, and the Democrats are running scared, and they should be, because who wants to support a genocide? Who wants to vote for a genocide? And if there's anything that's predatory here, it's saying that your candidate is working tirelessly for a ceasefire, when actually they are actively funding and arming genocide and actually refusing to even consider an arms embargo, which would bring the genocide to a screeching halt. AOC, who's supposed to be in leadership of the Democratic Party, it's amazing if she doesn't know about the anti-democratic tactics and strategies that the Democratic Party uses to crush and silence political opposition. They've been hiring an army of lawyers to throw competitors like me off the ballot. They've been hiring infiltrators and saboteurs and publicly posting job advertisements for those positions. They've been hijacking our public funding in order to keep us off the ballot. And they actually impersonated the Greens to throw us off the ballot in 22 in the Senate race for North Carolina, for example. How is that not fraud and election interference? Also, what's predatory here is stealing the signature issue of the Greens. Our Green New Deal, launched in 2010, appropriated by AOC as her signature issue in 2018 without a mention of where it came from. So bottom line is, Americans want more choices. We are that choice. We are the one choice, which is anti-war, anti-genocide, pro-worker, climate emergency. Check us out, JillStein2024.com. Thanks so much.
We can solve our crises at home at the same time that we put an end to this genocide going on in Gaza.
How do you feel Biden and Kamala Harris have handled the crisis in Israel-Palestine conflict?
I think they are responsible for the crisis, is what they've done. Kamala Harris has a track record. People should not be talking to voting Democratic as the lesser evil. You can't be a lesser evil if you are conducting a genocidal war. So I'm going to hold on.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
So there you have it. You heard it from AOC and you heard it from Jill Stein. And you know, if you're really a fair-minded person, you'll realize that AOC is full of shit. And it pains me to say it, you know, in many ways. It pains me to say it, but she's full of shit. And we're talking about somebody, again, I'm going to repeat it for the millionth time, that you're talking about somebody who was a supporter of AOC, and it took me a very long time to shake off my support for AOC. I would say it started when she rejected forced vote, and it worked its way into two things: indirectly funding neo-fascists in the Ukraine, and busting a rail strike, voting down a bill that was from the Senate to the U.S. House that would have guaranteed 7 sick leave days for the rail workers around this country. AOC voted against it, and she has a tendency to do that, to take very bad bills and even go into a rant about how bad those bills are, and she ends up voting for them a lot. So AOC is pretty damn useless. I hate to sound objectionist, and I hate to, it's going to come across as sexist, and I'm not really want to paraphrase Adam Carolla, but the only reason people take her seriously is because she is a relatively attractive. She's a relatively attractive woman, and that's what it comes down to. It comes down to that. I mean, she's eye candy to a lot of people. The cameras are always on her, and maybe to a degree, it's not her fault in that regard. But she became the public relations face of the squad because of it. And she became a star real quick. But she couldn't fight her way out of a wet paper bag, is basically what I'm saying. So the thing about AOC is this. When I first heard of AOC, if I had to compare her to somebody, the person I would have compared her to when I was actually pro AOC was a congresswoman from New York by the name of Bella Abzug. and the district escapes me at the moment. But Bella, except that she was not as attractive. I mean, less attractive than AOC, of course. But Bella Abzug was more effective than AOC in getting things done and all of that. And she was not just she was just, as far as duopoly was concerned, she was just not a Democrat, but she was one of the more left-wing Democrats in Congress at the time. And she was one that really did she really did earn her reputation, somebody that was polarizing. I'm referring to Bella Abzug. And hold on, I'll go and find a graphic a photo of her, just in case you don't know who the hell I'm talking about. She was always known for wearing her large hats and all of that. And this is Bella Abzug, a Congresswoman Bella Abzug. And that's right. Bella Abzug was cool, and she triggered the right wing back then. And she was pretty much all for the things that AOC claims that she's for, but at least she was fighting for these things. She fought for labor. She was for universal health care. She was for these things. She never fully said she was a socialist, but she actually did have socialist background. She did hang around socialist circles when she was alive. DSA people back then, DSOC, they were called Democratic Socialist Organizing Committee, and people from the Communist Party USA did have a lot of admiration for Bella Abzug. So and that is correct. She was not a bar's maid either. Yeah. So, but here's the thing about AOC. AOC was supposed to be more or less in that tradition, but instead of doing that, I mean, she just regressed. I mean, and she didn't pull the country. She didn't pull the Congress or the congressional Democrats further left at all. Not at all. I mean, she. In fact, I would say she probably made them further right in a lot of ways, because she just basically gave the green light for corporate Democrats to say, "Hey, it's okay." It's okay that in spite of all the things that's being done, she could do whatever the hell the Democrats can do whatever the hell they want, and the whole Justice Democrat experiment that Cenk Uyghur and what's his name, Kyle Kalinske were trying to do back in the day, turned out to be a total failure. And that's what it came down to. So she went from being Bella Abzug to basically turning into Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And let me find this. Yes, right here. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And the reason I put Jim Perlman on the side, because Jim Perlman sadly was defeated by Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And I know that some people in this audience here may not like Jim Perlman, but Jim Perlman, I mean, because she's in the duopoly. I understand that, but I do think she is a fighter. I like Jim Perlman, always have from day one. Just talking to her here and there, I'm just, I mean, I like what I'm hearing for her, because she basically made a promise to not do what AOC and the squad did if she ever gets elected to Congress. And she sort of indicated she was going to be a one-termer if she gets into Congress. So, and we need more people like that. we need less people like, obviously, like Debbie Wasserman Schultz. But AOC's turning into Debbie Wasserman Schultz. You know, that's the problem. AOC's turning into Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She walked away from being Bella Abzug and she turned into Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And that's the problem right there. So anyway, I'm trying to get Jen Perlman back on this show. I did talk to, I think I was talking to Peter Hager online recently on email about getting her back on the show. So hopefully she'll be back on the show. We'll discuss her campaign and where to go from here and all of that and all. So let me go ahead and take this down. So anyway, and that's my point about AOC. I mean, she is a total disappointment, a total disappointment. And I mean, I just got tired of defending her. There was just no reason for me to keep defending AOC when AOC, after getting scolded by Nancy Pelosi, ends up, doing the bidding of Nancy Pelosi. And she needs to apologize to her former supporters, for starters. She needs to refund all the left-wing people that believed in her, campaigned for her, solicited for her, canvassed for her. She needs to apologize to all those in independent media that haven't sold out, that defended her in the early days. She needs to do these things because, she sold us all out. And we're worse off for it because of it, You never hear her talk about single-payer health care anymore. You never hear her talk about some of these issues that got her elected to begin with. And she's not going to be a fighter. And it pains me to say that. I mean, because, at least 2 years ago, as I was getting more and more disappointed, I was a critical supporter 2 years ago this time. Even in September 2002, I was kind of like, well, I'm getting a little tired of her, but I decided when Lucy, Blue Moon Red Wine, when she decided to do her first write-in campaign just days before the election in 2022, I was just like, well, why the hell not? I like Lucy. You all know Lucy, Blue Moon Red Wine. She's cool. I mean, and that's, she's a legitimate left-wing voice. And, just like have her be a member of Congress instead of AOC. Why not? The hell with AOC. So I was just like, told people, if you live in New York, vote for her. And I'll say the same thing against this. She is the write-in candidate in 2024. If you're in the 14th congressional district in New York City, do vote for Blue Moon Red Wine. Her name is Lucianne Connett. Do in fact vote for her. She is a write-in candidate in the 14th congressional district. I just thought about it. I don't have her information with me to post up here, but what I will do is I will try to get Lucy back on the show, perhaps before the election, to talk about her campaign too. So there is that. So yes, Rick, same here. If I lived in New York City, in the 14th congressional district, I would gladly vote for Lucy. I really would. And you're right, that's Samantha's. Lucy is cool. It's always a pleasure to have Lucy here on the show when she is here, and she was actually be a guest tomorrow night on Extra Bull Live. Warren's having her tomorrow night on the show. So, and it's going to be on the same time I'm talking to Shane. So, if you rather, I mean, if you have two monitors, cool. If not, I understand. So, y'all can, I guess, flip a coin about when to see which show y'all rather watch. So, but anyhow, right now, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another video in a few moments when I get everything set up after I shut this video down. And I will say that if y'all like what you heard, please press like. Oh, tomorrow night, before I do it, tomorrow night I have Shane back at 8 o'clock. We're going to continue our discussion on MMT part 2. We were just kind of constrained by time a few days ago. If you like what you heard, please press like and comment. Comment any ways you disagree with what I have to say. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Subscribe to the Willie Bragg Show on all appropriate platforms. And remember to free and pardon Ed Snowden, fully pardon Julian Assange, free Palestine, free healthcare for all, and free speech. So y'all take care, and I will be back in a few minutes, probably around midnight, if not before, or we'll say between 11:55 and 12:05. I should be back, which it's not going to be that long. So y'all take care. And I will see y'all soon. To have a great night. And signing off for now.